I refused to let my boyfriend move in over an argument about decor. I was so excited. After 2 years of dating, Alan, my boyfriend, and I were finally moving in together. It felt like a dream come true. We'd found a cute 2-bedroom apartment, and since my lease was up at the end of next week, I was going to get a head start on unpacking and setting things up before Alan joined me when his lease was up in 3 months. Everything felt so perfect, almost magical, like those romantic movies where the couple picks out throw pillows together and laughs over paint swatches. I imagined us, hand in hand, picking out furniture and decorating our new place, turning it into a reflection of our love. We'd even agreed that I would cover the rent for the first 3 months while he was finishing up his lease. That way, it would be less stressful financially, and he wouldn't have to pay for 2 apartments. One sunny afternoon, as I was packing up my current apartment, my phone buzzed. It was Alan, asking if I could meet him for dinner at our favorite Italian place. Of course. I chirped, already imagining the warm, cheesy goodness of their lasagna. Should I take this as a celebratory, we're moving in together, dinner? Absolutely, he replied, his voice full of that warmth I loved. Got something important to talk to you about, too. I spent the rest of the day practically floating. Was he planning on proposing? Maybe he had already secretly picked out a moving-in gift. Oh, this was going to be good. The aroma of garlic bread and tomato sauce filled my nose as I entered the restaurant. I spotted Alan instantly. He was already seated, a bouquet of my favorite sunflowers resting on the table. A warm wave of affection washed over me. How could I have ever doubted him? He greeted me with a kiss and handed me the sunflowers. You look beautiful, he said, his eyes crinkling at the corners. These are for you, to brighten up your day. You're too sweet, I mumbled, my cheeks warm. As I settled into my chair, I noticed Alan kept glancing nervously at the sunflowers, a crease forming between his brows. It wasn't like him to be so serious, especially when it came to celebrating. It was like a tiny seed of doubt had been planted in my mind. Over plates of delicious pasta, we talked about logistics, packing schedules, who was going to rent a moving truck, the usual stuff. And then, it hit me. We hadn't discussed the fun part yet, the decorating. Oh, I know. Once you move in, I began, twirling my fork excitedly, we should totally go through all our stuff. We can decide which furniture we want to keep, what we need to get rid of, and maybe even buy some new pieces together. I was practically bouncing with excitement. We can finally blend our styles and turn the apartment into our dream home. As I spoke, I saw the color drain from Alan's face. His eyes darted nervously between me and the sunflowers, as if searching for the right words, or maybe an escape route. About that, he started, clearing his throat. I think we need to talk about the whole decorating thing. The tiny seed of doubt I'd been pushing down suddenly sprouted into a giant, thorny weed. What did he mean, talk about it? I thought it was a given that we'd decorate together. What do you mean? Won't you be getting rid of most of your things? He finally asked, his voice uncharacteristically hesitant. My fork froze halfway to my mouth, a giant glob of spaghetti dangling precariously from the end. Why would I be getting rid of most of my stuff? I questioned, confused. Had I missed something? Hadn't we talked about blending our things, creating a space together? Look, babe, Alan said, his tone softening a bit, but not by much. You know I love you, but you can't expect me to live in a place that's decorated like, well, like yours. And there it was. He'd said it. It felt like someone had splashed a bucket of ice water over my head, washing away all the excitement I'd been feeling. It's true, my decorating style isn't for everyone. My best friend, Maya, calls it Barbie meets goth, while another describes it as neon fairy obsessed with death. I love bright colors, pink, especially, and I have a weakness for skulls, Halloween decorations, and all things whimsical and unique. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's me. I always thought Alan found my eccentricities endearing. He was the one who said my apartment reflected my fun-loving, creative personality. So, when he made that comment at dinner, it stung more than I'd like to admit. So, what, you want me to get rid of everything? I tried to keep my voice even, but I could feel a knot of anxiety forming in my stomach. Every last bit of me, packed up and tossed aside? No, not everything, Alan said quickly, mistaking my stunned silence for agreement. Just, most things. You know, the pink couch. That lime green cabinet. And all that, well, skull stuff. It's a bit creepy, don't you think? My stomach twisted. It wasn't just that he wanted me to get rid of my furniture. He was essentially asking me to erase parts of myself, parts that he used to find endearing. The thought of parting with my beloved pink velvet couch, a birthday gift from Maya, made me want to cry. And the lime green cabinet? I'd spent weeks searching for the perfect shade of green, painstakingly refinishing it, turning it into a work of art that held my prized movie collection. Each piece of furniture had a story, a memory attached to it. Now, they were being dismissed as creepy and too girly. An hour flew by in a blur of heated discussions and rejected compromises. I was willing to put away some of the more out-there pieces, maybe find a nice, mature storage unit for Mr. Sherbert Puke and his tiny guillotine. I even considered toning down the pink, possibly replacing a throw pillow or two. But Alan stood firm, a granite statue of beige and brown resoluteness. "Come on, babe. It's just stuff." He reached for my hand, but I pulled away, a knot of anger forming in my chest. "This isn't just stuff, Alan," I retorted, my voice trembling. "This is me. My taste. My personality. You knew what my place looked like when we started dating. You said you liked it. You told me it was so me." Alan shifted uncomfortably in his chair. "I know, but that was different," he muttered. "We weren't living together then. How am I supposed to have my friends over? They're going to think I let you turn the apartment into a pink nightmare." The words hit me like a sucker punch. So, this was about his friends? Their opinions mattered more than mine? "So that's it then?" I asked, my voice cracking. "You'd rather keep your precious beige furniture and impress your friends than live with me, the real me, the one with a pink couch and a quirky sense of style?" Alan sighed, his frustration mirroring mine. "Don't be dramatic, your name," he pleaded. "It's just decorating. We can pick out new things together. Things that are more us." "No, Alan," I said, my voice surprisingly firm despite the tears welling up in my eyes. "This isn't us. You've made that very clear. This is you wanting me to shrink myself, to fit into some bland, boring box labeled acceptable girlfriend, and I'm not doing that. Not for you, not for your friends, not for anyone." And with that, I stood up, the scent of garlic and disappointment hanging heavy in the air, and walked out, leaving behind the man I thought I knew, the man who, apparently, loved the idea of me but couldn't handle the reality. Next story. Ghosted my cheating fiancé. Everything felt so perfect when my boyfriend and I got engaged a few months ago. We were so happy, and I was sure that we would be together forever. I felt like we were the perfect couple. We had plans to get married, go on a honeymoon, and even buy a house. It seemed like nothing could ever go wrong. But I was completely wrong. I was naive, and I didn't see the warning signs. My boyfriend was hiding something from me, and I was clueless. I had no idea that he was cheating on me. It was horrible. It felt like my world was completely turned upside down. It was even worse because he was cheating on me with our mutual friend. They had been hiding their affair from me for months. All of our friends knew about it too, and they had been pretending like everything was normal. They were acting weird and laughing about me behind my back. I couldn't believe that people I had trusted could be so dishonest. I was angry and hurt. I couldn't believe that my boyfriend and our friends would treat me like this. I felt like they had been lying to my face for so long. I felt stupid. I couldn't even trust my own best friends. They made fun of me because I hadn't noticed that my boyfriend was cheating on me. I almost confronted them all, but I realized it wouldn't be worth it. It would be like talking to a wall. I knew I had to do something, so I decided to leave. I needed to disappear from their lives. It was the best thing to do. The next morning, I packed up everything I owned. I was ready to leave. I even took all of the money that I had saved for our wedding, honeymoon, and our future house. I didn't want them to have a single penny of it. I blocked everyone from my social media, changed my phone number, and drove back to my hometown. I stayed with my mom and stepdad, and I tried to figure out what I should do with my life. I couldn't face the thought of going back to my old job, so I quit. I was so angry. I told all of my family and friends everything that had happened. I couldn't keep it inside. I was too angry, and I needed to talk about it. They were all supportive. They knew how upset I was. I finally started to feel a little bit better. It felt great to just forget about everything. I took a big trip, and it was amazing. For 3 months, I traveled to different countries and met new people. I did things that I'd always wanted to do. It felt good to be free. After I came back home, I was able to find a new job. I was ready to start my life over. I'm even trying to start dating again. There's this really nice guy I've been seeing, but I'm not ready for a serious relationship yet. I'm just focusing on getting back on my feet. My friends and family told me that my ex and our old group of friends were trying to get in touch with me. They wanted to know where I am, how I am doing, and they were asking for me to talk to them. I told them that I never wanted to see or hear from any of those people again. I don't want to hear what they have to say. I want them to leave me alone. They were horrible to me. I don't know why they would try to reach out to me after everything that happened. They can't expect me to forgive them. I told my family and friends to block or ignore any attempts they made to get in touch. They don't deserve another chance. Am I wrong for doing this? I feel like I deserve a little peace. I have a right to keep them out of my life.